Hi everyone, this is Michelle Litwiller. I live in Davison, Michigan, and I am super excited that Rhonda asked me to share with you how I run my online classes. So I have been a demonstrator for almost 12 years. It'll be 12 years in just a few weeks next month. And the first 6 years of being a demonstrator, I did kind of do a monthly card class with some friends and family, but nothing like crazy or anything like that. But it basically just supported my hobby of stamping, and I got 1 day a month without the babies and the toddlers where I could be with some friends and family and just do some crafting. So about 6 years ago, when my daughter started kindergarten, she was going to school for full time, I decided that I needed a part-time job. And that's when I started working for Rhonda as her assistant. And that, as you know, and probably a lot of you have heard this right anyway, I got really inspired to start doing more of my own Stampin' Up! Stuff. So about 2 years ago, that's when I started uh, offering online classes. I started 2 years ago, exactly in January, and I offered a Valentine class in January, and I have not missed a month since in the 2 years. And so again, I'm going to go over what I've learned. A lot of it you've probably heard from Rhonda, or if you're new, maybe you haven't, but I do all of Rhonda's training and I follow what she's done. I've worked closely with her, so I see it in action. And so I try to duplicate what I've learned and from her. So I actually have some slides to share with you. And then at the end, I do have a few visuals to share with you as well. So let's get started with my presentation. I'm going to share my screen. And so here we go. All right, and then I just gotta move this out of the way. All right, so here are our online card classes. So here is just an overview for you on how to do an online card class. And this is so important, especially the day and age that we're living in with a global pandemic. A lot of us have had to shift to online card classes. So even if you didn't want to do online card classes, you might be in a position where, okay, maybe I think I need to give this a try because it's not really going anywhere fast enough anyway. So online card class, I started offering 2 years ago, like I said, and I have not missed any month. So I've been very consistent with them. Since then, I have added on, I've done 1-day retreats, I've done stamp camps, I have an online card club, I've done full out retreats online. So basically, all of these online events run the same, but there are many details that different, like pretty much just what's included in your costs, because that's going to like change how much the class is. Online classes have dramatically increased my sales. For example, my online card club alone can bring me in roughly $1,500 a month for that class alone. So that's amazing, and that's so awesome to have that. Here is a picture of one of my online classes. So I'm going to share with you later, but I encourage you to take pictures of your classes. This is like how I kind of package up my stuff, and there's lots of products and all the fun stuff right there. So what is an online class? An online card class is just a class that you create, and then you're going to send it to your customers. They're going to receive the class in the mail, and they're going to have to create this at home. You are going to be shipping them the supplies and products for the kit. And they're going to have their own stamps and ink. At least for me, I don't usually include any ink in mine, like ink pads. And then you are going to have to get them directions, whether it's a tutorial or a video, so they can complete their class. Okay, designing the class. So this is so important. if you're going to design your own class on your own, then it is super important that you pick out one stamp set or bundle that you're going to focus on. Then pick out one pack of designer series paper, maybe one coordinating ribbon and one embellishment that you're going to use. Then focus on these products to design your cards. Now I always get asked, well, how many cards do you make in an online class? It varies. It totally varies. But for example, my card club, they make 4 cards, 2 of each for 8 cards total. Some of my other classes, they might make 5 or 6 cards, or they might make 5 cards in a 3D project. It totally differs. But my basic card club, that's what is included, the number of cards. But by grabbing these specific supplies and having them in front of you, and I would grab the coordinating ink pads, that's going to help you focus on your designing. You're not going to be grabbing all these different stamps or random ribbons. Now, I'm not saying you can't use one other ribbon or anything like that, but I try to stick with the things I grabbed, because those are what you're going to include in your class. And those are the products that you're going to get sales from. So these products for my card club, I like to keep them around $20 on average. And it might include an entire, so that might not include an entire pack of designer series paper. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it's just half a pack of designer series paper, whether that's 6x6 or a half a pack of 12x12. Now, I get asked this a lot. I cut my 12x12 in half at 6 inches by 12 inches, and that is for shipping purposes. Because when you start offering online classes, you're going to realize that 12x12 is very expensive to ship. So I always cut that in half. Okay, do I include the stamp set? No, big fat no. And why not? Because you can offer them to add on the stamp set or bundle. This is going to increase your sales. My add-ons for like the stamp sets or the bundle can add on several $100s for each class. I recently did a class, and it was like roughly $1,000 for the add-ons. So another $1,000 in sales for adding that on. Also, they may already have it, or they may already, because they might have bought it from you. They might have something similar that they want to use, or they might be a demonstrator, and so they're going to buy it from themselves. Don't be upset if you have other demonstrators taking your class. Not because they're another demonstrator, because maybe you feel like, oh, they're not customers. Yes, they are customers. Other demonstrators that buy your class, they are a customer. And so if you include a stamp set or a bundle in your class, that might deter your team or other outside demos who love your work from purchasing it from you. So just have it as an add-on, and just give them the consumables so that they can take your class as well. If they add on, what do I do? So if they do add on the stamp set, for my card class or whatever, I can send them a PayPal invoice. If it's a different class, I just have it as an add-on right in my registration, and they can just add it on right then and there. And then when I place the order, I will order all those, and then I will just include it in their kit. So it's very easy to do. And if you are sending them a PayPal invoice, then just keep good records so you can refer back. So including consumables is so awesome, because it's going to give you lots of sales. It's going to save you some time prepping, because you're not going to have to cut the designer series paper down to like each individual piece, because you're going to usually include that or parts of it in every class you do. And then with their tutorial, they're going to actually cut it down themselves and follow the directions, and they'll even have lots left over. You don't have to worry about cutting the ribbon, because you're going to give them the whole bolt of ribbon. This can be a huge time saver, especially as your classes grow, not to have to cut ribbon and that designer series paper. Also, your customers are going to think it's a really great value to get this bundle of products included in their class. And they're going to have lots left over usually that they can make even more projects with. Okay, so now that you have your class design, now what? Now you need to mark it. So you're going to have to take good photos of your projects, make sure that you're lightening them and editing them. Then you need to, well, I say you need to, you should create a graphic or some type of collage for the class that you can share on social media, basically. So I use PicMonkey, but there's tons of other apps out there that you can use. Figure out when your dates are going to be, when your registration is going to end, when you're going to ship it, and what the cost is. And I'm going to go over a timeline of all this in just a minute. And then, of course, you need to post all of that information on social media, and you need to email it out to your email list to let them know what you're offering. Okay, here's just an idea of a graphic for your class. I am no graphic designer, but I just take some up close pictures so they're not seeing the whole card, and I put sweet and simple words. So it's telling you like the title of my class, my website, and the date that is the deadline to sign up. Just a little side note, if you have a ton of words or small print, it is very distracting and people might just like go right by it because if there's so much to read. So try to keep as few words as possible on your graphic. So how are you going to price your online class? So I figure what I've learned from Rhonda. So you're going to figure out the cost of the products that you are including. So for now, I'm just sticking with $20 because that is what I do include every month for my online card club. It's roughly $20. Then you're going to add on your tax and shipping of those products that you pay, because it's going to vary for everyone depending on where you live. So for me, this comes out to about $23.50. So I just round up to 25. Now, some months, my card club, they get $22.50 in products. 1 month they might get $19, but usually it's more than 20. So that's why I say figure out what it is, round, and then add your tax and shipping, and then I just round it up to 25 because usually that's a good point. Then you're going to add on $5 for your time, so that comes out to $30 for your class. So now if we were able to meet face to face, you know, that would be the cost of my class, but we're talking about an online class. So now you need to go the next step and you need to add on your shipping of the class to them. So for me, I use a lot of flat rate padded envelopes, and so they cost me $8. So I just add that on. Shipping is what it is. Shipping is shipping. I'll have to pay it. So now my class is going to be $38, and roughly $38 is about what almost all of my online classes are. Now, if I have a stamp camp or a retreat, obviously those are a lot more, but a basic card class that I'm offering featuring a stamp set, a bundle with just some cards is going to be around that price. So you might ask, what about the card stock? I get the card stock free on my host rewards because remember, you are going to order $20 worth of products for each person that's taking your class, plus you're going to have any add-ons. So if they're ordering that bundle or stamp set, you're going to have those also. So you're going to have host rewards, and the more people you get, the more rewards you get. And so then I can get all my card stock and all my envelopes for free for my class. Okay, another thing that I've learned from Rhonda is to show the products and show the process, which I might have already said. This is not a great picture. I was just flipping through to try to show you a little bit of visuals. But here is a retreat I did this summer. And so there's just a stack of some of the cardstock and designer series paper and some of the embellishments that they were getting. And so people are nosy. They like to know what you're doing. And then also when you show them like some of these things, like look at what all the people that took my class, like look at all these great things they're getting. The people that didn't take it, they're going to be a little jealous and wish that they would have taken that as well. So next time they might not hesitate signing up for your class. So it's just fun to show pictures and show the process. Okay, so class options. I usually have three different class options when I'm offering an online class. I usually have, again, your base kit, which for my card club, that's $38. That includes the kit, which has all the card stock and the products that I included to create the projects for the class. Then you can have the add-on if they're gonna if they need the stamp set or if it's a bundle, you can have that as a choice for them. And then you can offer a tutorial only option. I sell most of my basic tutorials for 15 US dollars. If it's a stamp camp or a retreat, it might be 20 or $30 because there's a lot more involved in those. But that's just how the different options that I basically have for when I offer it. Now my team, they get all my tutorials for free. So I always make sure I share that because that's a big perk of being a part of my team. So they don't have to buy the tutorial. I'm going to send them the tutorial for free. But if they would like the kit to actually make it, then they would purchase it just like anyone else. And hopefully they'll buy the bundle or stamp set from themselves. So then they get those sales from ordering it from yeah, you get what I'm saying. Okay, next up is registration. So you have to have a system to collect the registration. This is really important. I use, like Rhonda, the constant contact in the event section, which is just super easy, one-click ordering. There are other options out there. I can't really tell you about them because this is all I've ever done. But what I have learned is that you need to make it easy for people to order your class. So that is just an easy way for me to do it. They can just click on the registration, click on the option that they want, and then it leads them to PayPal where they can pay, and then they're all registered for my online class. Okay, here is a timeline, an example timeline that you could use from designing to shipping. So I am using again my card club as an example. So I usually design the last week of the month for the following month. So this is a perfect example. We're in the last week of the month, so I need to start designing for next month. Now, some of you might think, that's crazy. That's only like a week before. Like I need a month or 3 months in advance. Okay, that's not me. That will never be me for a few different reasons. But I do the last week of the month because number one, there's just no way I could do it sooner. I procrastinate on certain things. But number two, the main reason is we sometimes have things that go on back order or low inventory, and so I kind of wait until a week out that I'm going to start advertising it, so that if something I wanted to use is on low inventory, I'll shift out like my ribbon or my paper to something different. So you're going to design the last week of the month, or that's what I do anyway. Then when you get all your designing done, you're going to take pictures and create that graphic for your marketing. Then you need to email and post on social media on the first of the month. So you're ready to go. Now, if you want to post this on the 30th or 31st, go ahead. But try to have it done on the first of the month if that's when you're launching your class. Again, I email out around the 5th of the month to say a reminder if you want to join my card club, here's the link. And then I'm posting again on social media. So that's Facebook, Instagram, whatever you use, post it on there. Another thing that I do is I will share this on my Facebook Lives, my classes. So I do show pictures of my cards or my projects. Now, I don't hold them up for 5 minutes at a time, but I will show them for a few seconds, like, look at these beautiful cards, or look at these cute cards we're going to make this month. If you want to register for this class or join my card club, email me or message me, or join my email list so you can get the information to register and you don't miss out on future classes. And I tell them how to sign up and register anyway. So I've been asked, like, does that hinder? Do people not take your classes then when you're showing it? No, actually, when I show it, I get a greater attendance in my events. that's just what I have found. Anytime I've shown a class that I'm offering, my registration is usually much higher than the times that I don't. So I do like to show those little sneak peeks. So you're going to show it on your Facebook Live if you do those. Then a day or two before your registration ends, you're going to send out another email. So this is our third email. I learned from Rhonda, you need to send out at least 3 emails for every event. So you're going to send that out. Last chance, sign up for my online card class or your card club, whatever it is, and email that out. My registration closes on the 10th of the month. And so then that night, usually late on the 10th or early on the 11th, I will order all of my supplies that I need for that class. Then that usually takes a week to get to me. So when they arrive, then I have a week where I am going to be cutting paper, bringing in a helper if I need to do any die cutting and punching and embossing, anything like that. And then I will sort and pack up the class. Okay, then you're going to need to type up your tutorial or do your video if you plan to do a video during this time too. And then I ship out my classes on the 25th of the month. And then that's when I send out my tutorial as well. I do it all on the same day just because it makes it easier for me. And I think that's how Rhonda does it too. So that's how I do it. So it's a very seamless process if you just break it down with when you're going to do all of these things. Now, if the 25th is like Christmas Day, then I usually ship it out early. Or if the 25th is on a Sunday, then I like to get it out. I usually get it out earlier instead of later anyway. But that is how I kind of have my timeline for doing my card club. Again, here we go, sharing the process. Here is some photos of prepping. This really does draw people in. I can't, like I posted this picture and people are like, wow, look at all that tower, or wow, I can't believe that didn't fall over, or what is this? Like, can I still get in? Did I miss out? So share your pictures with your customers on social media. Here is again, this isn't anything glamorous. This is just my real life sorting my class with envelopes and all the pieces. And again, I probably shared this on social media whenever I took this. And even shipping out, you can show some of the boxes packed up in your car. This was a retreat I did, and I was in the middle of loading it, and I grabbed my phone and took a picture and put it back. And then I thought, oh, I'll take another one when it's fully loaded. I forgot, but at least I shared part of it. So people like just to see like, wow, there are people that are ordering her classes. Maybe I should too. Tutorials. So an online class, they have to have directions so they know how to assemble it. So I type up the directions, I include a supply list, I take photos for each card or project, and then when that's all done, I turn it into a PDF, and then you're going to share that with them. You can also do a video if that's what you want to do, but most of my cards are sweet and simple, and so a tutorial is usually enough. I do videos if, again, like I said, if it's a box or something that's new or different, and then I will just upload that video to YouTube and share that private link with them. I just want to reiterate, if I haven't, I know you've heard this from Rhonda, that simple, easy, beautiful stamping sells. You don't always have to wow them. I think that sometimes that might hinder people from offering an online class, like, oh, my stamping isn't something like some great idea or whatever, but sweet, easy, beautiful stamping sells. And also you need to remember that they're doing this at home without you. And so you want them to be successful and have fun creating at home. So sometimes, like, if you give them this complicated project, they might not be happy with you. So I just wanted to put that in there as well. Here's just a sample of my tutorial. This is just how I do it. I learned this from Rhonda. You can see I have a couple pictures up there, some up closes, and up close, I mean, and one of the inside. I have up here the supplies and then the directions. You can do your tutorials however you want. There's different ways and formats. This is just how I do mine. So I thought I would share to give you a visual of my tutorial. And to wrap it up, don't be afraid to start. Online classes can grow just like any other part of your business. And don't be discouraged if you have low numbers at first. Again, my first one, I only had, I don't know, like 6 people that signed up. So maybe you have even lower than that. Don't be discouraged. It can grow. It can grow just like anything. So again, be consistent, and it takes time, but if you're consistent and you keep with it, I think you can be successful too. So I hope that you have enjoyed this. I am going to go back to, here we go. And I'm going to show you a packet, an example of what like one of my packets look like when you get it in the mail. Now something else is that when I first wanted to do my online class, I knew how Rhonda did it because I have the privilege of working with her and for her. But I actually bought an online class from another demonstrator. So I could see how they send it out and kind of compare what I liked or all that. So I encourage you, if you've never taken an online class from somebody, maybe you want to purchase one of theirs before you get started as well. So here's like a packet. I use like some Ziploc bags or a bigger cello bag. And then inside I have, here's like cardstock. It's cut 6 by 12. I have a card cutter, so I just slice it in half. And then their products, like here's a bolt of ribbon. This is from November. They're little gems. And then their cards right here. So this is like, I have, again, 4 cards. There's 2 of each. All the like die cut pieces are inside for them. And then what I do, you can do labels on them. I think it's important that you label your packets because people might not put them together right away and might not remember what it is. I print out like a little insert like this, and then I tell them what day the tutorial was emailed on. Now it's the 25th of the month, virtually every month except for like December usually, but I still remind them because I have new people joining in all the time. So I tell them, I hope you enjoy this. Here is the class name, and then you can find your tutorial on this day. So that's just how I do it with the packaging. I put, everything in there. And then if they just got the bundle or the add-on, you just add that in their packet too. So I hope that this online class information was helpful to you. And again, I hope that maybe if you were on the fence or hesitant to get started, that maybe this was a little motivation to get you going. And thank you, Rhonda, for having me share with you all.